Today, on Guess What I Found Out, we're going to discover some facts about honeybees, the buzzing little overachievers that quietly decide whether you eat apples this year or just stare sadly at a bag of rice. Curious George, bold claim, pollinators support a huge chunk of our food system, and if they clock out, your healthy diet becomes a very beige personality trait. The USDA notes that animal pollinators are tied to a major share of food crops, and that pollinators add billions in value to United States crop production. USDA +1. If you like eating food that isn't plain oatmeal, tap-like, consider it your monthly payment to the bee economy. Honeybees don't just make honey, they provide pollination services that agriculture depends on. The USDA specifically calls out that honeybees pollinate billions of dollars worth of crops, including tons of fruits, nuts, and vegetables. So when you hear "Save the Bees," it's not a trendy bumper sticker vibe, it's more like "I would like strawberries to continue existing." Now, here's where beekeeping gets real, because keeping bees isn't cute farm aesthetic. It's air traffic control for a flying city. Beekeepers inspect hives by pulling frames and looking for signs the colony is thriving, especially signs the queen is present and laying. A calm colony is usually a good sign. A chaotic, irritated colony often means something is off, like the hive is missing its CEO. And yes, they do act like a workplace without management, confused, angry, and buzzing through meetings that should have been 2 emails. When beekeepers look at brood, capped cells can tell a story. Worker brood tends to be flatter and more uniform, while drone brood cells are larger and more domed, like the hive built a few extra studio apartments for the boys. If you're learning something new, follow the page, because education should be free, unlike everything else in 2026. Now let's talk about swarming, because nothing spikes suburban heart rates faster than a cloud of bees forming a living beard on a tree. Swarming is normal. It's how colonies reproduce. The old queen leaves with a big chunk of the workforce to start fresh somewhere else, because apparently honeybees invented quitting your job and moving to a new city. Here's the key detail. Swarms are typically not very aggressive because they don't have a hive to defend yet. They're basically traveling with all their luggage and none of their patience. Purdue Extension explains that swarms are usually not very aggressive until they've established a new home, though you still shouldn't mess with them. So if you see a swarm, do not spray it. Do not handle it yourself. Do not become a headline. Clemson's extension-style guidance is blunt. Call a beekeeper, not an exterminator. If that advice just saved you from a terrible decision, go on and hit like, yeah? It's cheaper than an ER visit and a regret tattoo, I promise you that. Honey is basically the colony's winter food. Beekeepers can harvest surplus honey, sure, but they really need to leave enough stores for the bees to survive when flowers stop blooming. Oklahoma State University Extension lays out some practical recommendations for how much honey to leave depending on the climate. And honestly, the central idea is simple. Take the extra, not the essentials. Harvesting usually involves uncapping wax-sealed cells and spinning frames in an extractor. It's oddly satisfying, like doing laundry, but, well, delicious. And if you take too much, the colony pays the price. So ethical harvesting is literally the difference between happy hive and winter tragedy. A lot of people fear bees because they've never learned what they're seeing. Tours, classes and hands-on demos flip that script fast. When folks learn how swarms work, how hives function, and why bees matter, panic turns into respect. Also, beekeeping should feel accessible to everyone. When more communities see themselves in science, nature and stewardship, you get more knowledge, more safety and more people protecting pollinators long-term. If you want more fun facts like this, follow the page, because we're building a library of useful knowledge that won't sting you unless you comment something wild. So, Curious George, today you learned that honeybees are vital pollinators. For agriculture, hive inspections are basically checking a tiny civilization's health. Swarms are normal and usually not looking for violence, and ethical honey harvesting means leaving the bees enough to survive. Now tell me, do you have any other fun facts about honeybees, pollination, swarming or beekeeping? Drop them in the comments. I want the good stuff. And if you enjoyed this, visit our page and explore our growing collection of fun fact videos. Subscribe quietly. Something fascinating is being built behind the scenes, and trust me, it will be worth the wait.